All right, Blake Ray, ready? You ready to kick off week 2 of
Yeah.
our 2025 accountability commitments?
Yep.
I mean, look who it is. It's just you and me. Look, Chris isn't anywhere to be found.
No, I talked to him earlier. He was out showing, doing something. He called me back. And he was out showing.
All right, well, that counts, okay? That definitely counts. But that's what you're going to have to get out there and do if you want to compete with us on the pending.
I'm doing okay.
Okay.
I
All
know
right.
you guys were patiently waiting by your phone. You were crying all weekend about TikTok being. I was celebrating. I never celebrated like that in my life. They're taking them all down.
I actually jumped. I'm getting off TikTok completely because I just can't deal with the roller coaster. It's gonna be one of those things where it's on again, off again. All right, let me get to my productivity segment for today, and then Blake, let me know if you got anything to add. But what I was going to talk about really this morning was like a key to productivity is follow up. Okay, hold on a second. Let me let my dog in.
Just so you're fully aware, Anissa, he is wearing pajama pants. He's about to preach to you, Anissa, about productivity.
They're pajama.
Accountability.
They're
He's wearing them.
pajama. They're
No
pajama
underwear
pants.
pants,
They're
man.
pajama
Come
pants.
on.
If it's gonna make you feel better, I'm wearing pajama pants too.
Am I the only guy dressed?
Oh, Blake, you suck. Blake, why can't
Yeah.
you be in sync with everybody?
Right?
I guess.
Oh my god! All right.
Sorry,
Pajama pants for me too.
Sorry,
least-
I decided when I woke up this morning that it's just another Monday for me, and I'm gonna go to work. And you guys went with
No,
resort wear.
we don't do that here.
What did you knit those, Anissa?
Do what?
Did you knit those by hand?
No.
Crochet your jammies?
No. I should have, but no.
All right, let's be serious for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, let's reel it back in. Blake is like the killer of productivity with his shenanigans. All right, so follow up. I wanted just to kind of give you a real life example of where this can go right and where this could go wrong, like where we could be deterred and make a mistake. So I had a lead come through Boomtown, followed up with him, and he picked up right when I called. We had a conversation, and he said that he was looking to buy locally, like in the McCalla, Bessemer area, but he needs to sell his house first. Okay. So I said, okay, great. I'm going to work on some value estimates, just like I'm going to run the comps, do a CMA. And then after that, I'm going to, send it to you. I'm going to follow up with you to see if you have any questions. And then we need to meet in person so that I can like personally evaluate the property so I can finalize my market analysis. Okay. So had a really good conversation. I followed up via text, no response. I texted again the next day. This is Wednesday, 2:18 p.m. Are you free to take a call? No response. So then I called him and he was like, who is this? And I was like, yeah, you remember it's Jason Will with Blueprint Realty Company. I was helping you value your house. He's like, oh, right. I was like, did you get the report? What'd you think about the number? He goes, man, it looks good. Looks real good. I said, all right, well, now it's time for step 2. We need to set an appointment for me to come by and see your house. And he was like, well, I'm really not free until this weekend. I'll go, great. What's better for you, Saturday or Sunday? He said, Sunday. I said, all right, well, why don't I give you time to confer with your wife and then you let me know when a good time to meet is on Sunday. So didn't hear back from him. And so Saturday at 5:18 p.m., I sent him a text and then he started replying and we had confirmed an appointment for Sunday, went out there, looked at the property. We'll see how it goes. He needs to fill out Diana's mortgage app to see, if he's got the credit and all this kind of stuff to make this move happen. But my question is, would you have gotten deterred if you texted this lead and said, are you free to take a call? And he just does not respond. After you've had a great conversation, after you've emailed him a CMA, after you've followed up with not one, but 2 texts, and since sending the CMA and since the successful phone call, no response. Would you keep following up or would you make an assumption that this person is like no longer interested, or would you give up?
No.
I wouldn't have sent the text.
So most people, let's do this, okay? Because I would say this is abnormal, right? I would say the norm for real estate agents is to go, maybe he's just not interested. I mean, they just go through all this second guessing in their mind and go, well, I've sent 2 texts and he hasn't responded since, our really good phone conversation. The follow-up, that's why they use the word relentless a lot of times ahead of the word follow-up. Relentless follow-up, because that's what it takes. This guy's just busy. The guy's just busy, and one conversation where he hears my name and hears my company is not enough. It's got to be repetitive. Right? And so we know that most real estate agents, the reason this, let's say like this specific call is a little devoid of participants, I think it's because people just hate accountability, and they know that they're not being aggressive enough. And we don't want to, I think, confuse the word aggressive with pushy, because, I've always contended that motivated people want to work with motivated agents. And that's why they look at your social media to make a determination whether you're motivated, to see if you're busy, to see if you're consistent. So it all kind of goes in there together. Now, back to number reporting real quick. We got any more? Does anybody want to say anything about follow-up and relentless follow-up? Does anybody have any examples where they just kept pounding the rock until they got somebody on the phone?
I mean, relentless, but I mean, I couldn't pick one particular one, but that's me. I think anybody that you would ask would have said, oh, yeah, because they knew the outcome to your story, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think if you told that story different, the better way to tell that story would have been, I relentlessly followed up and then they never called me back. I think if you give them that story in the exact way you did, everybody and their mama would have said, of course I would have, knowing the outcome would have been, oh, I'm going out there for an appointment.
Well, I think the keys is that he had a successful call originally. I mean, if I didn't feel the interest from the original call, I think after 2 text messages, I will be making the assumption that he's not interested. But if we had a great first conversation and I feel like we click with someone, I would definitely keep, like you said, pushing, but more like, pursuing this.
Well, Anissa, if you've never heard us say this, now's a good time to re-say it. But, so what we recommend is 7 to 15 touches before you give up. And that should be
15.
What is it? Emphasis
15. Yeah.
Yes. And I would try everything. Okay. I would try calling, texting, emailing, DMing, knocking on their door, sending a handwritten note. So all those adds up. All those touches need to add up to 15 before you go, all right, this person's not interested.
Even then, I tend to believe that's, I mean, they would have to, I can't think of a world that I live in, me personally, where like I'm super quick on writing them off. Even if they tell me like, no. My rule of thumb is if I see green on Boomtown and they're on the site or they're active, they are telling me without telling me that they are, because I could give you probably at least 20 stories about people that told me, no, I'm never looking. I'm not interested. And just happens to be, I call them on the right Friday at 2:00 in the afternoon, which statistically doesn't even make sense why they'd answer. And all of a sudden the conversation goes, and this is, I can track this because I make really good notes. Like, told me piss off, told me their sister was a realtor, told me they're never moving again. And then all of a sudden you call them and they're like, oh, yeah. And I've sat agents next to me right here, and the ones that track their notes have seen it too. If Jalen would get, I know it works, but if he was on this call, he'd give you an example of where he had note after note about a lady telling him, nope, I'm not in the market. Nope, I have a friend that's a realtor. Nope, I'm not. That's not me. And just happened to be one time he called them and they're like, yeah, I guess we're looking for about $400,000 houses in Pelham.
Yeah.
They lie.
Yeah. How do you cope if someone being rude to you?
What?
Like if someone's straight up rude to you
No such thing.
on those calls, no such thing.
I mean, what do you mean by rude, right? Like,
I mean, like you call and they're like, we opted out. We don't want to get any emails. Stop bothering us, blah, blah, blah.
I get off the phone as quick as I can and call them in 2 weeks. I mean, do you want my honest opinion? Like that's
Yeah.
they you want to know what I hear in that situation? I'm pissed off today. Not a good day.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
Because
Yeah, that's answering my
I
question.
choice to, I'm not trying to be Billy Badass. I just don't have a choice to believe that, right? Like, I don't get to go to the electric company and go, hey, Alabama Power, I'm going to be a little late because Dave and Susan, told me that they opted out. So, you get it, right, guys? No, I don't have a choice. I have to. That's part of that's why we get paid thousands of bucks. I mean, when I'm having an argument, I tell people I get paid $5,000 on average a transaction to be yelled at, treated like shit, to talk people off ledges. Like once you figure that out, real estate's really easy. Prospecting's easy. Once you realize that you're not getting paid off your first through seventh call, you're getting paid off. Like I love going through old databases. I get no bigger high because I realize that 90% of the agents that have failed with us, there's two caveats, huge gaps in when they dial, if they dial, they're completely, once they get told no once, they're like, all right, check it off, never calling Susie again. And they always put them on like 3 week, 4 week, 7 months, 8 months e-alerts. Everybody in my database is instantly. And if you're on it, you're getting a call. Because I know at some point you're going to be submissive, I guess, if you want to use that term, and just go, hey, yeah, I'm still looking. I guess that heart attack wasn't so bad. I've heard it all. Like I have notes of people telling me that they had hip cancer, that they're never buying because their mom died, whatever, like just the most crazy stuff. And then a month later, they're looking at condos and you're like, what the hell happened? Right. Yeah. I guess that trip wasn't terrible.
The only thing I would add to that is it never hurts to get real with somebody and go, whether you're leaving them a voicemail or send them a text message, a follow-up text message, go, hey, I've been calling, emailing, DMing, whatever. It seems like you're ghosting me. Does that mean you're no longer interested? Please just let me know so that I can update my files or whatever the case may be.
I'll leave you alone.
The other thing too, if somebody's like super disrespectful, I would just be real with people. Just go, hey, listen, I get that you were probably really disappointed or have been really disappointed by real estate agents in the past, but I guarantee you, I'm making you this promise. You give me one shot, I will not let you down. Something like that.
Yeah.
Because most real estate agents just do such a horribly bad job.
I've noticed it in my first transaction.
Yeah, it's really, really frustrating, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 90% of them get picked off of somebody that they know in their immediate circle, right?
Yeah.
Like, think about everybody you know or heard of, right? That's got a deal. It's because somebody referred them. Somebody from church referred them. It has nothing to do with talent. Like the biggest, I don't know if I guess he is recording, so I probably shouldn't say it, but the biggest bull crap in real estate is that you have to know the market. That, to me, that's load of shit.
Yeah.
Like if I know everything there is to ever know about the market, but your sister's best friend is a realtor, that's probably who you're using because you don't want to be awkward with your sister. So not only do we have to do this, but like, you know how it is. We all have to hear everybody talk about how they're full-time, even though they're not full-time. We have to hear everybody, exaggerate volume, talk about this. Like, yeah, volume's easy to get to, right? It really is. If you sell, 10 $1 million homes, that doesn't make you a good agent because your husband's an attorney and you live in one.
And Anissa, before I move forward, let me just say that I think Blake's full of shit on the market knowledge, because it's not about trying to convince somebody that has a realtor that they're really close with, or a realtor is a family member. Market knowledge is about confidence, and it's about the fact that we're always on call or we're always interviewing. Like every conversation we have with everybody's a potential interview. And if they ask us, how's the market? And we're just, oh, it's great. If we don't have specifics, then we're not going to sound as confident. We're not going to exude confidence, and that's what ultimately gets us hired.
Just knowing the market doesn't immediately go, well, he's the smartest one.
No,
I
but
agree with everything above, but it just has the confidence when you know the numbers and you know what trend in and things like that. 'Cause
and
I
that
wouldn't want to go into the conversation without having at least basic knowledge.
and that validates you as a professional. It's like you don't need the knowledge on how to prefer to be a heart surgeon and how to perform heart surgery. Like you need to be an expert. You need to be able to do this with precision. So just take what Blake Ray says with a grain of salt. Okay. All right. Let's move on. All right. No, Wordy asked me to say some more stuff. Okay.
I said metaphorically, you're right, but you still can't just be sitting in a dark room looking at the market. Like you still have to meet people, get out, talk to people, be relentless in whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So I would just say this. I think, well, Blake encouraged me last week to kind of make my focus or my reporting on these calls a little bit more efficient because he is focused on getting what, Blake, 4 people a week to Diana for prequal? 2?
Just two.
All right. I think we need to up that. And he said, what, I don't know if you agree or not.
Go
You think
mine.
Blake is aiming a little low here?
Two, 96 a year. I'm giving a high volume on the fact that some of them ain't going to get approved, right? I'm not trying to reach for the moon. I'm trying to hit something I can. Now, last week, way over 2 sent out, right?
All right. So here's what I'm focused on. An appointment a day, setting an appointment a day. All right. And yeah, so every day it's just an appointment. And then weekly, I want to get 1 pending a week and I would like to take 1 listing a week. So 1 appointment a day, 1 new pending a week, and 1 new listing a week, and a weekly date night with my wife. That's it. That's really as simple as it is. Now I'm tracking my conversations. I'm tracking my appointments that I set. Obviously, that's important. I'm tracking the appointments I complete. I'm tracking the contracts that I've written. And this week I did write 1 contract and I did get a new pending, and I set an appointment every single day. But here's what my question to you though, Blake, is this. Do you not feel like you need to have so like if I have every day, like here's how I judge whether I have a successful day or not. Did I set an appointment? Do you not feel like you have to, or you should have something you're shooting for every single day?
I'm going with the idea of the hyper focus. Like my hyper focus is getting those. I got to get to those 2. Now, if I get to those 2 on Monday, I can shift that up into what else can I be doing. But to me, the appointment is the outcome, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, ideally in an ideal world, I'm sitting at an appointment a week, right? But that's, I mean, how many appointments, right? That's 60.
When you say appointment, what do you mean by that?
You're setting a buyer appointment. You're setting, so you're going to show property. Maybe you're going to preview somebody's house, that's asked you to determine its value. But I was going to look this up real quick. So if I just type in, go to Google, because I was going to ask you, Anissa, let's say, because I just feel like setting an appointment a day is a great goal. It's always been preached and pounded into my head since I got into real estate way back many moons ago. So what do you do if it's, 2:00, on a Tuesday, you haven't set any appointments so far this week, and you're like, man, I can't go 2 days in a row without setting an appointment. So I would go to Huntsville. I would just type this into Google, Huntsville FSBO or FSBO. So I type in Huntsville FSBO. There's 15 homes that pop up on Zillow, and I would go through that list and I'd look for some of these FSBOs that have been on, like there's one on Foxtrot Terrace Northwest that's been on Zillow for 75 days. So I would, really, I'd call all of these. So if you look at Zillow, you scroll down just below where it shows how many days it's been on market and how many views.
Yeah.
There's the property owner's number. So a really potentially easy appointment to set is to ask a FSBO if you can come by and take a look at their property. So just getting in front of people, and It could be having lunch or coffee with your sphere of influence. It's just
Mhm.
getting in front of people. That's an
Okay.
so
Okay, I got you. I just didn't know if you like counted it as a like meeting with a new lender. Do you
I
count it as
wouldn't do that.
appointment?
So unless it
Okay.
is, so here's one that's kind of been a marginal one for me is that I'm working with a couple new on-site new construction folks, trying to really help them, market their properties and get some pendings and things like that. So I don't know, that could potentially be a referral partner or something. So that's kind of a one. I haven't been counting those, but I certainly could if I wanted to. So
Okay.
is it a lender who said, that they're committed to sending referrals to people that send them business? That would definitely count. What do you think,
I
Blake?
got you.
We've even in the past counted like if you tell somebody like I talked to you and I say, "Hey, Jason, I'll call you back tomorrow. Take a look at the properties." That was even a set appointment. I don't think there's a rule into anything in these. I agree with Jason. Meeting with the new lenders probably on the it's good, but I don't
Mhm.
necessarily going to move the needle. I mean, it will because you'll learn some stuff that you may not have known. I
Yeah.
would say anything with a buyer or a seller.
Yeah,
What
that's what I was trying to figure out. Do you count only the ones who buyers and sellers as appointment, or everything that related to the real estate count as appointment?
No, I would say anything that's going to lead to a buying opportunity or a selling opportunity. So that's why for sale by owners are kind of the easy ones
Yeah.
because you can call them up and set an appointment and just go, "Hey, I want to preview your property."
Mhm.
Just getting in front of people that are may buy or sell. Not that the
Mhm.
one's bad, but
So
Okay, I got you.
I need the very just important to use like have a daily focus, have a weekly focus, have a monthly focus. Like I want to keep a running, my goal is to keep a running pending volume of 5 pending sales at any given time. I want to set an appointment a day, and like that's a successful day is one appointment set. A successful week is a new pending. So have some of those things in mind, and then have them up and visible somewhere where you got to focus on them.
Mhm.
Home office on a whiteboard, in a notebook, you know, a sticky note, something.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So what we focus on expands. So we want, you know, 5 pendings to keep a running total of 5 pendings a month. Then there's some science behind it being up and visible. All right, y'all. Anything else before we run?
nope.
Been a good little accountability huddle. I will see you guys next week. Call me if you need me.
Sounds good.
Blake, you can put your pajamas back on.
Yeah, I'll put them on now. Thank you for your
All right.
permission.
All right, bye.